Hi there, and welcome to this video on selling to senior executives. This is something that most salespeople absolutely want to do, but have very little insight sometimes in how to do it. How to get in access to the C-suite, how to access senior executives, how to take yourself out from being pushed down inside an organization. So there's a whole EP on selling to senior executives. So I just wanted to do this separate video here as to why outbound, to show you how it can help you in building an effective outbound solution. So this is an amazing piece of research that was undertaken by Keenan Flagler Business School, IBM, dated a little bit, so back in 1995, but the things that it highlights are only getting worse for senior executives. So if they did the research today, I'm sure that the same results would be, it would be even more powerful for us. But very, very few people really use this piece of research, which I'm amazed at. But their loss is our gain. So what this research did, so Keenan Flagler Business School, IBM, Hewlett Packard, a couple of other organizations did a significant research piece into the top CEOs and executives in the top US organizations. And they said, essentially, where do you get involved in the decision-making process or the buying process? What is it you're looking for? So there's a lot of research elements came out of here. So one of the things I wanted to show you is when we're looking at businesses and they're struggling to access senior decision makers, a lot of it is about their approach. So look, if you're looking to target senior executives, this research showed that this is how they spend the majority of their time in a buying decision process. So we've got the axis time going up vertical on the left-hand side, and then we have involvement going across the bottom here. So what they looked at is, okay, so senior people, where do they get involved? Critical key three areas. So the bigger the bar here, the more they get involved in the decision-making process. So firstly, they get started right at the beginning when they're seeking to understand current issues. That's current issues facing their business and the industry sector they operate in. Once they understand the current issues, they're looking to seek to establish long-range and short-range business objectives. And they're also very heavily involved in setting long-range and short-range business strategy. After that, they duck out completely for the three middle bits, or have a small hand in that. And in those three middle bits, you have their exploring options, setting supplier criteria, and examining alternatives. And then they come back in when that is done to planning the implementation and evaluating the results. So at the beginning, they say, look, these are the type of results we want from this project. So they come back in to plan the implementation and look at the results that the project has brought into the business. So this tends to be the start of inbound. So when inbound is kicking into place, they've already understood or believed that they understand their current business issues and the current industry issues. They've already believed that they've set the correct long-range and short-range business strategy, and they already believe that they potentially set the strategy. So that may or may not be true, but inbound is when they start to explore their options. And then not only that, you've also got examining alternatives, which tends to be in these three middle sections here, where the traditional, what we call the DMU, so the decision making unit, kicks in. So that may well be why all of your inbound is causing you to be at lower levels with an organization. So it's a fantastic piece of research. We use it for many, many years to help businesses understand how they can change and restructure their outbound processes to target senior executives. Because if you can influence a senior person right at the front of this process where they're seeking to understand current business issues, short range and long range, you can then guide them through the rest of the process. So that might well be that you're helping them, you're educating them. But if you're using the same language that you would be doing to help them explore technical options, or even the financial implications of purchase, you're not going to succeed. It takes a different level of language and approach and messaging, so targeting senior executives, even to the extent a lot of the outbound stuff that we've worked with clients, we actually use the exact same language, help you understand current issues, help you establish short and long range objectives, help you set short and long range business strategy. So if you're having trouble targeting senior executives, that's one of the ways that outbound excels over inbound, because you can consciously take a predefined message to people who are not yet exploring their options or setting the supplier criteria. If you can pull all of that together, and that's everything that we show you in all of the trainings in this system, then you are well positioned to position yourself as the only logical choice once you've created the value for those senior executives.